Notes on teaching the Sila. First note, real Sila and theoretical Sila. Theoretical Sila is keeping the Sila, or the moral code of virtuous action and avoidance of non-virtuous action. To avoid, I call this karma yoga, but this is to avoid what people conceive of as bad karma, which means to avoid the effects of negative causes, or the effects of causes, negative effects of previous causes. So when we do say or think something, we create a cause which in the future will have an effect, be it the near future or the far future, be it in this life or the next. And that's what people think of as karma. Karma is not a justice system, a judicial system of punishment. It is a scientific law of cause and effect. Every little action causes a reaction, as Bob Marley said. And so, Sila, when we go to a temple or a retreat, or we decide to practice through our own will, which is often better than going somewhere thinking that going someplace is going to make you be able to do it. But doing it through your own will is more effective. And so the Sila, when we go to a temple or retreat, or do it through our own will at home, through the day and night, which I recommend is the best method, because going somewhere else is not going to make you do it. The only thing that's going to make you do it is yourself. But sometimes to learn how to practice, it's good to go to a retreat or a temple or some place, ashram, where you can stay, hopefully, and learn how you practice, and then take it home with you and practice at home through your own will. That's the point of retreats. Is not to go to a retreat when you need to practice. You need to learn how to practice in a retreat, and then practice when you go out into the real world and you go home. If not, if you can never realize it or manifest it into real life, then you'll always have to go to some retreat somewhere. And if that's the only place where you can be enlightened, then there's no point, because becoming enlightened should be everywhere, permanently, forever. And so what you learn how to do in retreats, be it the Sila or with meditation techniques, or just keeping the moral, virtuous actions and avoidance of immoral, non-virtuous actions, speech, thoughts, and words, thoughts, and actions. Because we have karma, or we create cause and effect on those three levels, in those three particular levels of existence, of awareness. And so Sila, there is Sila like, oh, I shouldn't kill this mosquito, I shouldn't kill this insect. That breaks the Sila, the law of ahimsa, of non-violence and non-killing. So I want to be a practitioner, or I want to be a noble person, I want to be enlightened. I shouldn't do that, and so you don't do it. That is keeping Sila as a theoretical rule. That is what we call Samuti. Samuti means Samut. Samut means Samut. Samuti means to assume, theoretically or hypothetically. So theoretically. So that is Dharma practice and practice of Sila on a theoretical level, but you haven't got rid of the desire or the instinct or the reaction within to swat the mosquito and to kill or to harm other beings. The instinct is still there, but you keep the rule because you're in a temple or a retreat, or you're telling yourself at home to keep it. But you should notice, and this is Kammathãna Vipassana, that when you're doing things, you notice consciously the process, and as much of the process as is possible to notice, you consciously notice it. So you should notice that when you don't swat a mosquito when you are keeping the Sila, or when you catch yourself about to tell a lie and stop yourself and don't tell the lie, or whatever of the 5 or 8 or 10 Sila, or 227 if you're a monk, if you're a bhikkhu, which you don't keep, which you are going to resist and restrain yourself with. You should notice as you restrain yourself from breaking those Sila, that the instinct, or if the instinct to break that Sila as an instinct is present within your heart. And if when you are keeping those rules, you notice the instinct to kill, to lie, or to speak bad of others, or to think something perverse, or to think something sexual towards others in a personal way, or to want to get intoxicated, or any of the Sila, if you notice that the instinct to break any of those Sila is there, you should notice its presence, and note that this presence is purely kilesa, is defilement. And if you can notice consciously the presence of that kilesa, that defilement, that instinct to break the Sila, then you will know what is kilesa, and you will understand why it has to be removed as an instinct, and that only when that instinct has been removed will the theoretical Sila become the true Sila, that they will become awakened within the heart, and that the impure instinct, the harmful instinct, the negative instinct to create negative causes of future negative effects, or what humans call bad karma, will cease, will begin the process of cessation, because you will see it as not beneficial. And when we have realized the elimination of this instinct to be immoral or to be non-virtuous, then, only then, can true Sila, or virtue, moral virtue, become a fully realized, made real, enlightened attitude and instinct within us, after we have removed the root cause of those negative instincts, the kilesa. And it is the removal of that which makes us pure, and that is what the meaning of a noble person is. Not somebody with magical powers, but somebody who is pure and has removed all those roots of kilesa, of self-coveting, self-protecting, believing in a self, instincts to covet oneself and protect oneself, which arise from wrong view. Wrong view is the firm belief in a self that is separate from the rest of the universe and not interdependently connected, and so cannot feel compassion for other beings because of the wrong view of seeing other beings as precisely that, as so other, as other from the self, not the self. And to believe in that self as separately is what causes this self-protective instinct of kilesa. And when we see that, we understand that we have to destroy the wrong view of a self that does not in truth really exist as we imagine it, and to stop feeling the need to kill the mosquito as our true nature. And this is, of course, the reason for practicing Sila theoretically, to notice that within the heart the Sila are not truly present, and to then develop the tendency to try to remove the absence of metta, absence of compassion in the heart, and to eventually remove wrong view. And so that is the difference between the theoretical Sila and the true Sila. And so, as Kammathãna practice in Vipassana, you should notice consciously how present or absent, or to what degree of presence or absence, this instinct, this self coveting instinct to break those Sila rules is present, how pure or impure one's intention is when one keeps those moral, virtuous rules of behavior and avoidance of immoral behavior, which is the creation of causes of future unhappiness and future negative results. And so that is my first note on practicing the Sila and the meaning of the Sila, and why, as the beginning of Sila, Samadhi and Panya, the three causes of enlightenment, that Sila leads to Samadhi. Once you have practiced Sila and become conscious of the absence or relative degrees of presence and absence of Sila within the heart, you then focus and learn how to do Samadhi, how to meditate. And then when you can meditate and practice Sila and know the Sila, then will come Panya, which comes with Vipassana. Panya means spiritual or self-wisdom, self-knowledge and wisdom, and the wisdom to and strength to act and react in the proper way. And that is, of course, the beginning of the path to arahantship and to Sotapannahood, Sagitakamihood, Anakamihood, and arahantship, the four kinds of noble persons who are in various degrees of purity and have left the root, entered the stream to Nibbana, and left the root causes of rebirth and karma through this path, which begins with the Sila. I hope this helps you in the foundations of your practice. This is Ajahn Spencer for the Buddha Magic Project and for dharmatai.com, signing off.